What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today on this, the 31st of May, the last day of the month, here at $104.6 thousand, more or less, with 8 hours and 57 minutes left. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, you guys. Here we are. Moving up a little bit on the day, up 0.5%. I still believe that we are on a path that will take us lower. I would be a little bit surprised if we found support at $103,000, but at the same time, you know, we made a lot of sense down here to find support below $74,000. And what do? We found support just above it, right? And it's almost as if, and I went through yesterday in Bitcoin, in the last Bitcoin video that I made. I'm not going to do it here, but we went through all the examples from highs to lows, lows to highs, whatever, fibs. Throughout this whole bull cycle, Bitcoin has been finding support at its 0.5. Here you just skimmed your 0.5, right? So the target that would have made sense once you broke through would have been to go to your 0.5. You hit the 382 once, twice, 3 times. You don't hit it 3 times and then you bounce. You go through and you hit the 0.5. You reach for the 0.5, but you just didn't get there. You missed it, right? You stopped in an area that's just above this high. You didn't interact with it. It almost makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. But that's because maybe there was so much buying pressure that you couldn't get down there, right? That's what they call front running. So what I'm trying to offer here by that same perspective is, we're calling for the price from a low to a high. The most logical place to go to from here would be to go to 101.7K. What if we're doing a similar thing? What if we're not the only ones with this on the radar? What if $100,000 itself is a more psychological level of support? What if there's other people who are just looking at this from a straight standpoint of resistance and support back here, and they're buying up right now already? What if we don't go to 101.7K, right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I believe we do. I believe that we do go down here. I'm just saying we've done stuff before where we front ran the price, where we've done this, and it could happen here. It really could happen here. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Anybody who's expecting this to happen, like I am, I'm expecting this to happen. Don't get your feelings hurt if it doesn't, right? Don't get your feelings hurt if this is it. We reach for it and then we just turn around. I don't think that we will. I think that we will achieve it, but let's look at the price on the 1 hour time frame and see what we can derive here. Looking at the 1 hour. Sorry, guys. Hold on. I got to drink some water. Looking at the 1 hour time frame here. Getting the RSI out. We have no volume at all, right? But it's the weekend. It's Saturday. Tomorrow's going to be Sunday. So it's the weekend. Sometimes the weekend's boring, and sometimes it's like anti whatever the week's going to promote. Here last week on Saturday and Sunday, we went down. So then that Monday and Tuesday, we actually lifted up, right, a little bit. Monday going into Tuesday, I should say. Then we came down. We rolled over for the rest of the week. But oftentimes during the weekend, if you move one direction, you'll open up the week in the opposite direction. So if we're moving up over this weekend, that makes me think that, when Sunday's over, we're probably going to come back down. And wouldn't that make sense? Oops, I didn't mean to draw it like that. Wouldn't that make sense if you were finding resistance on this line? I can't draw a straight line to save my life, but you can kind of see what I'm talking about there. 1 hour RSI, looking at it here, we've broken out of our downtrend. Absolutely we have. Now we need to form an uptrend, right? Which I don't know if we will. Oftentimes whenever you break out of a downtrend, you form a sideways trend and then you form an uptrend. So I don't know if we're forming an uptrend right now, but soon enough maybe. Or this sideways trend could last a little bit longer, and maybe it does promote some lower price action. Rejecting the 60 here would be exactly what we did back here, and what we did back here, what we did when we found support right here, and we found support right there, and some support right there. It's a significant level. Rejected right here, rejected a little bit above it right there, somewhat of a significant level, and we're at it right now. We're right there right now. So also looking at the price, it's possible that this could just be another lower high right here. Finding resistance at prior support where you had a double bottom, where you had prior resistance here, it might make sense that this run up doesn't really continue too much. Yesterday I was saying that I expected the beginning of Sunday to move to the upside, and then I thought we'd spend the second half of Sunday moving down. This upside move has gone on. It was delayed a little bit. It took longer to happen than I thought, but timing is not the easiest thing. I don't care if by the end of Saturday. I keep saying Sunday. I don't care if by the end of today, Saturday, if we're moving down or not. I would expect that over the weekend, or at least by Monday, we would start to pull back down a little bit, unless we can keep pushing higher. I mean, if this 1 hour candle, if you can get above $105,000, then maybe you do run all the way up to 106. I don't know, but I doubt you get too much past that. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, the 4-hour RSI, just getting into the oversold zone there. You're still in your downtrend in the 4-hour RSI, right? You've got the lower lows here. You've got the lower highs here. You've got this little wedge. You're probably going to come up one last time and then come down. So this might imply actually that we do have more growth to go as far as price goes, right? Maybe we do actually run up to that $106,000 area. Wouldn't surprise me. We could go all the way up to 106.8K. If we go up there, that's not a big deal, because we go up here and we come down, all we're doing is we're just finding resistance at prior areas of support and prior resistance here. It's somewhat to be expected, right? And then I wonder even, let's see, high to low. The 382 is right there too. And it's very common when working your way down, working your way up, whatever, to go a little bit through your 382 and then come down, right? It's very common to go a little bit through it. What's a little bit through it? These points of support and resistance right there at about 106.8K. I doubt we break above 107K, okay? So looking at the 4-hour RSI, it wouldn't surprise me if we did do that. Looking at this, I would think that it happens between the end of today and the beginning of tomorrow. So the 1 hour, maybe the 1 hour looks like it's in an area to reject now, but maybe it doesn't reject. Maybe you just keep moving up, and then you come down and reject. I don't know. But the 4-hour has me convinced that we're not going to move down here. I mean, it's possible. You could just move down right here. Right? You've got lower highs. Maybe you do just reject the 40. You don't hit that line up there. That could happen, but just going off the trend, I would think that we push a little bit higher. If we push a little bit higher, that 1 hour is going to push a little bit higher. We're going to be more bullish, like, I don't know, maybe we do run up to $107,000, but not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If we run up to 107K, don't start celebrating. It's probably going to be an area that we reject from. If you're looking to go long here with 100x leverage, because C-Zar says it's going to 107K, don't be disappointed if we just drop through right now. Ultimately, we're still going down. That's the expectation, okay? The 4-hour ultimately might be suggestive of a little bit more bullishness now, but ultimately is bearish still. It's very, come on now. It's very, very bearish. Likely we have lower to go still, okay? Just a little higher first. That's okay. You know what? If we were to run all the way up here to 107K, I feel like that would take away our head and shoulders look. Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. Maybe it would just look like a slanted head and shoulders instead. Maybe, and I can't draw a straight line to save my life. Maybe that's what it would be. I don't know. Most of the time in crypto, these things are slanted. They're not just like straight patterns. You know what I mean? Yesterday, and I think the day before, I was drawing this idea of a head and shoulders pattern like this. Maybe it's more like this. Maybe it's more like this, and it's a slanted head and shoulders pattern. You know what I mean? That'll change the target areas a little bit, but people will still be talking about it, even if it has that look there. The volume profile is just wrong, though. Looking at the daily RSI, we have crashed below the 50 here. Likely we will continue to go down and go down to the 40. That's just a little bit lower on the daily time frame to find support at the 40, where we normally do like to find support. We find support right there. We found some support right there and 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 right there. All that support right there, continuous support at the 40. It makes sense that we'd go down there. That's just a little bit more on the daily time frame, and a little bit more is all we need, right? We're at 104.6K. We're talking about prices at 101.7K, thereabouts. It makes sense. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I think that this analysis does well represent the idea that we still have lower to go. I really do believe that. But if we move up a little bit in the meantime, don't get overzealous. Don't get too excited. Every time I say overzealous, I think of the crypto zealous now. Zealous. Shout out to it's Zell. That's right. Shout out to Adam, I think, or who was it that I was talking to? I'm sorry that I haven't gotten back to you, man. Life has been busy. I need to reach out, but yeah, I don't know. It's a new crypto. I don't know. Anyways, BTC. Just whenever I say overzealous, I think of zealous now because of that. Maybe that's why they named it. I don't know. But 104 point. I don't know anything about the project. That's not a shill. That's just a funny, maybe not so funny. I don't know. It's just a coincidence of words, and I'm just addressing it, I guess. But anyways, if you guys want to invest in that, go ahead. Look it up yourself. But we're talking about Bitcoin here, okay? High to low. Inevitably, whenever you do move up, because you will move down a little bit and then you will move up. Whenever you do move up, the targets that await us are 121K to 138K. This primary target zone between the 1272 and the 1618 right there. If I would say when we do move up here, I don't believe that we're going to stop at $121,000. Okay, I don't believe that that's where we're going to stop. Okay, earlier back in this kind of range, whenever I was assuming that we were moving up higher, I very much believed that we would stop here. But with this pullback, with this consolidation, I think this gives us a spring to get sprung from. I don't know. It's a little bit more of a winding up. I would think we push higher. I really do believe 130K to 140K is the next target destination. We'll probably be there by the midway point of June, if I had to guess. But timing is not the easiest to get. But that's the next area. I do think late June going into July, and I do think that this move will stretch into July. We're going to see targets that are all the way up at 180, 170K. I think that's what's going to happen. And then from there, then we will cool off again. We'll probably consolidate for a month and a half going into August, and then we'll start to rally into the end of the year for our finale finish. That's kind of the expectation. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. I think I've gone over everything that I need to. So hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Weekly RSI, also rejecting off the overbought zones. Not a good look. At least the 60, man. But probably, I mean, you could go all the way down to the 50. Sometimes you reject these overbought zones and you don't go to the 50. You know, sometimes that happens. Most of the time you go to the 50 or lower. But we'll see what this does, right? Most of the time this would imply we go to the 50. If we were to go to the 50, the weekly RSI would then be telling us that we're probably going to see prices down around $90,000. But hopefully we can avoid that. Hopefully we can absolve ourselves of that. I mean, a good way to absolve ourselves of that is over the next day and 9 hours. Sorry, guys. Move up 4%, but I doubt we do that. I doubt that we're going to close at new weekly highs this week over the next day and 9 hours. But if we can, that would be nice. That would absolve us of rejecting the overbought zone. But shy of that happening, the only thing that we really have to hope for, I think, is to find support at the 60, which the likelihood of that, it's like 20%. But it can happen. There's still a chance. 20%, you know, it's a good enough chance. And I think we have a chance. I think that we will find support at 101.7K. And then we'll move up. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.